Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You know, I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to help with that, I use an inspiring quote. And today's is so deep. And it's so good. And it is so needed. We all need this reminder from time to time. Don't believe everything you feel. Our emotions are the greatest liars we know. Preach the truth to your emotions, and the truth will begin to change your emotions. Wow, I love that. What do you think? You ever notice that your emotions have gotten the better of you? You ever feel that anxiety start to well up inside of you, and it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't like this. And then you're on edge, and you're expecting the worst. And you're like, well, I don't feel a certain way, so maybe that's my body telling me to prepare for something. No, lots of times it's a head game. That's something I found out. And so I want you to take this strategy to heart and see if it doesn't help you. I'm going to read it one more time. Don't believe everything you feel. Our emotions are the greatest liars we know. Preach the truth to your emotions, and the truth will begin to change your emotions. Wow. You know what helps? The power of the Holy Spirit at work in that circumstance. As you preach the truth to your emotions, He does His work. He's the comforter. He guides us into all truth. He can calm us down. He can ease that anxiety. He can take it away. So I just wanted to remind you of that today. Maybe you've been dealing with a lot of anxiety and stress here lately, and you don't quite know why. Well, here. Start preaching to your emotions and watch the weight start to lift. And while you're at it, go ahead and offer up some praise to God. The Bible says that He inhabits the praises of His people. So as you start to praise, you can feel that weight lift as well. Don't believe me? Try it. See if I'm not telling you the truth. Things got awkward. Yeah, yesterday I noticed one of my coworkers passing by the studio and I really needed to talk to her. So I knocked on my window and she heard me. She came over, she opened my door and we talked for just a minute. And I got the message to her I needed to get to her. But while we were standing there, I know she had just come back from lunch. And I mean to tell you, I told her something. I didn't think about it really before it came out of my mouth. But I said, by the way, where did you go? You smell absolutely delicious. Oh my gosh. She's like, oh, we went to Papa Doobie's. I'm like, okay, it smells amazing. And as she walked away, I said, I'm sorry. That sounded really weird after I said it. She said, oh, it's okay. I knew what you meant. Ever gotten a little awkward? Yeah, well, let me tell you, if you enjoy smells, especially smells that make you hungry. Girl Scout cookie season is now from January through April, but you don't have to just get the cookies to enjoy the scent, the aroma of those Girl Scout cookies. Yeah, there is a deodorant company, Native Deodorant Company, who decided to partner up with the Girl Scouts and bring you those amazing aromas. Yeah, we're talking about smells that will make you hungry. Coconut caramel, trefoils, peanut butter, like the peanut butter cookies, lemon, oh my goodness, thin mint aroma. And we're not just talking about body wash. We're talking about shampoo. We're talking about conditioner. Yeah, so if you really enjoy those scents and you don't mind being hungry or making others hungry around you, well, there you go. Native might just be the way to go. Deodorant, body wash, shampoo, and conditioner. So there you go. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Somebody might ask you, where you been? You smell delicious today. And your word of life today comes to you from Psalm 119, verse 11, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. Oh, what do you think about that one? Yes, you know what? As you read that Bible, you find out what God says about you, what promises He has for you. You learn the principles of the kingdom of heaven. I mean, it's so important to get that, not just in your head, but down into your heart, to really think about it. So let's hide his word in our heart. Yeah? Why don't you share that word of life with somebody so they'll know to do it too? We've got it for you in photo and video form across our socials. That's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, and TikTok, and it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Well, I've got some pretty cool news from one of our artists that you hear all the time here on the Lifeline Morning Show. And, well, let's just say that he received a testimony that really got him, and he shared it with everybody. And I'm going to share it with you coming up next. Get ready, because it is so good. Andrew Ripp, his most recent post. I imagine it's the prayer of anybody who's involved in ministry. They pray that God would use them to impact somebody in a positive way, to help share God with somebody else through whatever they do, through their ministry, right? Whether that's ministering to the homeless, or, I don't know, whether that's going and packing up a bunch of groceries for kids over the weekend like they do with Sacks of Love up in Union Grove. But, you know, our artists, they're constantly trying to reach people with the good news of Jesus. And one guy in particular, such an inspiration, his name is Andrew Ripp. I don't know if you know much of his story. I actually got to interview him back a couple months ago. And if you want to see that interview, of course, it's on our website. It's the third video down. You have all three artists that were together on that particular concert. But Andrew, he shared a testimony in there that really got to him, that really touched his heart in the way that God used his music to touch somebody else's life. It was amazing. But, you know, it's not just one testimony that comes out of a ministry. No, it's many. And so I want to share one with you now. Andrew, 18 hours ago, said, guys, I had to share this. Call this coincidence if you like, but for me, this is divine intervention. So Kevin Dampier wrote, I decided to quit drinking and Googled rehab, realized I couldn't afford it, and happened to find a recovery church not far from my house. That Wednesday night, I walked in terrified because I didn't know anyone and haven't been to church in over 5 years. I sat down and I heard a song called For the Love of God. I broke down, and when the service was over, I felt a huge relief, like my addiction had suddenly left my body. I got in my truck, headed home, and thought, I haven't listened to a Christian music station in years. So I turned it on, and For the Love of God was playing. 44 days sober now. God bless you and your family. Thank you for what you do. Wow, that's amazing stuff. You just never know how what you're doing for the kingdom of God is impacting the people around you, like Andrew Ripp. And oh my goodness, to hear that you had an impact on somebody's life really humbles you. And so Andrew just wanted to share that over on the socials. I'm so glad I found it so I could share it with you. If you want to go check him out, you can find him on just about every social. And he is very open, honest about his personal life. He lets you peek behind the curtain and see what goes on with his wife and his kids. And it's a lot of fun to follow. So anyway, just wanted to let you know, if you want to find Andrew Ripp, you can right there on the socials. But let's hear that song that really helped that guy out. It's For the Love of God. That weather's been crazy here lately. So yesterday was my wife's birthday. We ended up going out to eat at that new Mexican place in Arab. It's called Sophia's. It was really good food, by the way. But when we left there, it was sleeting. Yeah, it almost looked like freezing rain. And I thought, oh, if it gets too cold, this might not be good. And my wife and daughter, because Cassie's a teacher, and of course Grace is, and she's in 3rd grade. They're both kind of getting excited. Oh, we might not have school tomorrow. But no, there's school. Hey, right now across North Alabama, we are mainly in the upper 30s. The warm spot, if you want to call it that, is right here in Guntersville at 38. Huntsville not too far behind at 37 degrees. 35 right now in Boaz, and 36 in Coleman. Your word of life today comes to you from Psalm 119, verse 11, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. You know, there's something about reading the Bible. Sure, it's great, but if you can really get it into you, if you can hide that word in your heart, if you can not just read it, but know it, and not just know it in your head, but actually feel it, if you can know it in your heart, your innermost being, if you can hide it there, it can never be taken away. And that's the beauty, I think, of that scripture. So why don't you share what you think the beauty of that scripture is with somebody like I just did? Yeah, it's a great way of sharing your faith, and we made it real easy for you to have that conversation because we got that word of life to share on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter or X, and over on TikTok, and at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Speaking of our website, you can go there and click that On Now button to listen to us from wherever you happen to be. We'd love to keep you company. Right now, we got some listeners over in Kassel, Germany, also in Helsinki, Finland, and of course, our friend Joel Modest hanging out with us down in Palm Coast, Florida. And, I got a call this morning. I'm getting ready to share it with you, and I already gave Joel Modest the heads up. I texted him. I said, I've got a real groaner for you coming up shortly. A dad joke that is going to just make you laugh so hard. Stick around. We'll get to it right before the Carline competition, okay? All right, but for now, more great music. Here's For King and Country with Burn the Ships right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. I absolutely love hearing from you, and I heard from one of you this morning. I want to play that call for you now. Just don't take a swig of coffee or milk or anything right now, okay? In preparation for what you're about to hear. I'm just warning you. Good morning, Chris Lawrence. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. It's a little chilly out this morning. I wanted to call in and give everybody a hot tip on how to stay warm.
All right. Well, I'm ready to hear it, man.
It's really simple. If you're cold, all you got to do is stand in the corner.
Ooh. Stand in the corner. I was told to do when I was a kid and I got in trouble. Go stand in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really? How does that work?
Well, it's 90 degrees.
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me? Oh, dad joke of the year. That's amazing, man. Thank you for calling. You just made my morning.
My daughter bought me for Christmas. I got a dad joke button.
Oh, man.
And it's got like 100 dad jokes on it. And I set it on my counter, so every morning when I'm making my coffee, I hit it a time or two. And that was on there this morning.
That's great, man. Wow.
I thought I'd share that with y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. See y'all. Y'all stay warm.
All right. You too.
Bye.
Bye. Chris Lawrence, you rock, man. 90 degrees. It's 90 degrees in the corner. Hey, I got a good feeling somebody's going to be winning some gift cards very shortly on the Carline competition. Is it going to be you? We're going to find out. You know how this works, right? I've got this whole sequence of things that has to go just right. Okay. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn. All right, now let's crank that engine. Then let's start that music so I can say, hey, everybody, it's time to play the Carline competition. Good job. You did that so well. Hey, I've got your chance to win some gift cards here. 1 to Guntersville Chick-fil-A, 1 to Albertville Home Bakery, and 1 to the Caring Heart Thrift Store in Arab. That's right. 1 to keep, 2 to give away, except it's not just 3 right now. No, we had a train started this past, 2 days ago. And Cassie, my wife, called in and won, and she rolled hers over. So 6 gift cards up for grabs right now as we got that train passing through. So want to get on this thing? Here we go. Here's your first question of today's Carline competition. What is a chuditch? Is it a carnivorous marsupial? Is it a hibernating cockroach? Is it a feral horse? Or is it Bowser's shell? From Mario. 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, what is a chuditch? Is it A, a carnivorous marsupial, B, a hibernating cockroach, C, a feral horse, or D, Bowser's shell? And here's your tip. If you're going to look it up on Google, type in chuditch and Australia. 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, 256-505-0885. And there is my caller. Yay! Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Hey, what's your name?
Evelyn.
Evelyn. All right, Evelyn Hodges. How you been doing these days?
Good.
You loving school?
Yeah.
Really? You kind of sounded like you needed a little more encouragement there. Are you loving school?
Yes.
Oh, I know. Some days are hard, aren't they?
Yeah.
I understand. Well, that's why we have the Carline competition, to make your day a little bit better. So let's do this thing. All right, what is a chuditch? Is it a carnivorous marsupial? Is it a hibernating cockroach? Is it a feral horse? Or is it Bowser's shell?
The first one.
The first one, a carnivorous marsupial, is absolutely correct. Congratulations to you. You just won 6 gift cards. What do you think about that, Evelyn?
Yay.
Yay. Yeah, I think it's a whole lot of love you can share with a whole lot of people. In fact, I want to hear about 2 of those people right now.
So my friend Evie,
All right, Evie. And why do you like Evie so much?
she's just fun.
Cool. And who's that second person?
Ellie.
And who is that? A good friend?
Yeah.
Cool. What do you like about that good friend?
The same as the other one.
Same as the other one. Awesome. You got some great friends in your life. Thank you so much for sharing the love with them here on the radio. All right. Hey, I haven't talked with you since Christmas break. So how was your Christmas?
It was great.
Really? Did you get any good presents?
Lots of good presents.
Oh, what's your favorite one?
I can't decide.
Oh, good call. Good call. That way nobody gets their feelings hurt. All the presents were good. That's awesome. All right, Evelyn, have a great day at school. Always fun talking with you. Can I ask you one more question?
Yes.
Why do you listen to the Lifeline Morning Show, Evelyn?
It makes me so happy.
It makes you so happy. That makes me happy. Girl, thanks for calling. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. How much fun was that? Evelyn Hodge is taking home 6 gift cards on the way to school. And I know some days it's really tough. Some days you've just got to fight through it. And the day gets better as you go along, especially when you call in and win some gift cards. I mean, that makes anybody's day a little bit better, right? So here we go. Question number 2. I wonder if you're ready for this. All right. Automobile manufacturers Volkswagen Group have their headquarters in which country? Are they in Sweden, Germany, the USA, or France? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, Volkswagen Group, the automobile manufacturer, their headquarters is in which country? Sweden, Germany, USA, or France? And here's your tip. This particular place has what's called the Autobahn. 256-505-0885 is the number to call, and there's my caller. Here's Ben Fuller. If I Got Jesus. 88.5 JFM. Good morning.
Morning,
Hey, who am I talking to?
Rain Bear.
I thought that was that smiley voice I know so well. Rain Berry, who can put a hurting on you because what belt are you now in Taekwondo?
Senior Brown.
Senior Brown. You're moving on up, girl, so you can put a hurting on
Yes.
somebody, can't you?
Yes, learning a bit more of my pattern now.
All right, very cool. Well, hey, you want to play my game?
Yes, please.
Let's do this thing. The automobile manufacturer Volkswagen Group, they have their headquarters in which country? Sweden, Germany, the USA, or France?
Germany.
Germany is correct. Congratulations to you. You just won 3 gift cards. You know how this works. We want you to keep 1, give 2 away. Can you tell me about those 2 special people you're going to share some gift cards with?
My friend Abby Jo, she's really nice to me. And also my friend Ellie Green. She's also nice.
Cool. You know, I know both of those girls, and I can attest to that. They are pretty cool.
That's probably Grace's friends too.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, thank you so much for sharing the love here on the radio. Now, I haven't talked with you since the Christmas break. How was Christmas?
Good.
Good. What did you get that you were so excited about?
I got a lot of candy.
A lot of candy. Oh, good stuff. Stay sugared up. That's what I always say. All right, Rainberry. I hope you have a great day at school, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll get these out to you. Bye.
Bye.
So much fun. Rain, thanks again for calling. You know, it's funny because, yes, over in Germany, that's where the Volkswagen Auto Group has their headquarters. But it got me to thinking about German, the language. Did you know the word butterfly? Well, here in the U.S., it doesn't really make much sense, does it? Butterfly, because it's not a stick of butter that's flying through the air. No, it is, however, an insect that flutters by. So maybe a butterfly should really be called a flutterby. But anyway, if you were to say that in Spanish, for instance, it sounds so elegant. Mariposa. I love that, right? But if you say butterfly in German, do you know what it sounds like? Schmetterling. That's it. Schmetterling. It doesn't sound very elegant, does it? Oh, that's just the way it is. So anyway, I had to point that out. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning here on the Lifeline Morning Show, and I hope you're ready for round number 3 because I got it right now. All right, you ready to play my game? Here it is. Question number 3 as we wrap up today's Carline competition. All right. The capital of which of these countries begins with an A? Is it Lebanon, the UK, Portugal, or Greece? 256-505-0885. So the capital of which of these countries begins with the letter A? Is it Lebanon, the UK, Portugal, or Greece? And your hint is that we have one of these right here in Alabama. All right, so this last Carline competition question, it was fun, but I didn't get any calls. So I'm going to knock it down to a 50-50 shot. You know how I do this thing, right? So let's do it. The capital of which of these countries begins with the letter A? Is it Portugal or Greece? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Waiting on your call right now. Oh, there's my caller. 88.5 JFM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, are you feeling lucky this morning?
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
I'm in the car on our line.
Okay. You're headed to school. What grade are you in?
4th
4th grade. And what's your name?
Gracie.
Gracie? All right. What's your last name, Gracie?
Puckett.
I thought so. I didn't recognize the number. My crazy hat girl, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I got a question for you. It's a 50-50 shot. I've got a pretty good idea you're going to win this. The capital of which of these countries begins with an A? Is it Portugal or Greece?
Greece.
Greece? Wow, why would you say that? What's the capital?
Athens.
Athens, Greece is correct. Congratulations to you, Gracie Puckett. You just won 3 gift cards. What do you think about that?
Amazing.
I think it's amazing too. Now I get to ask you, what 2 people are you going to share your gift cards with?
Maybe my dad and my mom.
Your dad and your mom. What do you love about that mom of yours?
She's really nice and I love her.
Oh, and how about that dad of yours?
Sometimes he be dramatic and he's funny sometimes.
I love it. Sounds like dad's in the car with you, huh?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Oh, it's so special when you shout out your parents, Gracie. Thanks so much for calling me. I got 3 gift cards going to be headed your way. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, one last question. How was Christmas?
Good.
Yeah? Well, what's your most favorite thing about it?
My phone.
Phone? What now? What kind of phone we talking about?
The newest one, the Galaxy S23.
Oh my. That's amazing. Congratulations, girl. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing.
And I have their number on it.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So you can just call me up and win the Carline competition anytime you want to. That sounds like a blast. Yeah. I hope you have the best day at school ever, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Gracie knows what's up. She's got the studio number on speed dial, so she can call in and win the Carline competition. I love that. Gracie, thanks for calling. Oh, it's been a blast playing the Carline competition as it is every morning. And guess what? We'll do it again tomorrow starting at 7 o'clock. A big thank you to Chick-fil-A. They came back on board with us after their big renovation. You know, they were on with us for the longest time. And then they had the renovation that they, couldn't do any gift cards because they weren't open. So now they're open again. The place looks beautiful and really nice people there. I can't sing their praises enough. And Albertville Home Bakery, I mean, come on. Willing to supply us with these gift cards and help us to reach out in our community. It's a beautiful thing that they're doing with us. And of course, Felicia Jones at the Caring Heart Thrift Store. They do so much good stuff in our community already. And they said, hey, we want to give you some $5 gift cards to give away on the Carline competition. Oh, and by the way, they did something a little extra too. I'll be revealing to you in the coming days. Something to do with some Wendy's Junior Frosties. You know those little keychains? Yeah. So we'll be seeing what we'll be doing with those things coming up here on the show. So keep those ears and eyes peeled to the radio and social media, okay? All right, so it's 7:40, well, 7:41 now. So I guess let's go ahead and do some ministry and business impact partners and some weather and some word of life, and we'll get back to the music that you love. Sound good? All right, hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me. It really means a lot, whether it's on the radio or it's on the stream or even on the podcast. Thank you for being here. You're part of our story. My little girl made a comment recently that really got me to thinking. It was just about the vehicles that are out in our driveway. It was really cold outside, and she's like, I bet they're really sad out there all alone and in the cold. And I got to thinking about that. You know what? That inspired a few thoughts. And I want to talk a little bit deeper about that. And that whole idea of personification. You know what that is? That's when you give human attributes to something that is not alive, right? And it really got me thinking. So stick around and let's dive into it together. I think you're really going to love it. All right? Dad, I bet they're sad sitting out there in our driveway, just out there in the weather, all alone. I bet they're sad. That's what my daughter was talking with me about. Our cars, of all things, out in a driveway. And it's funny. I said, you know what you just did? You used personification. Do you know what personification is? And I explained it to her. That's giving attributes of a living thing to something that's not living, right? So, yeah, it got me to thinking. You know, lots of times we have these little sayings. It's like, if these walls could talk. Well, the walls are not alive, but if they could talk, my goodness, the secrets they could tell us, all the things that happened there, you know? And there are other things too. We see things all the time in everyday life that kind of look like they're alive. Maybe something that looks like a face, or maybe you see a car and the front of the car looks like it's sad. It's funny. I came across this little quote from somebody. Now, the same guy who said this in his most famous quote, Khalil Gibran, he said, yesterday is but today's memory and tomorrow is today's dream. Wow. I really like that, but it's not that quote I want to get on. It's another one. It almost made the inspiring quote of the day, but I chose a different one. And if you didn't hear it, of course, you can hear that over on the podcast. You can also go over to, Spotify. Yeah, Spotify on the podcast. It was earlier. And later on the show today, I'll close the show with it as well. So here it is, the one that I really want to talk about. Forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet and the winds long to play with your hair. I thought, whoa. I had never thought of it like that before, but it kind of takes me back to this whole idea of when God created everything. Could you imagine standing beside him while he spoke everything into existence, and how it feels for all of his creation to be created, to actually be? Now, don't get me wrong. I know the earth is not alive, right? Though it is a diverse system that keeps things alive, that helps us thrive as humans or animals or whatever else. Well, think about that for a second. I want to read it one more time because it just blew my mind, and hopefully it's doing the same for you. Forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet and the winds long to play with your hair. It's like they are content and so happy when they do what they have been created to do. The earth was created for you to walk on. The wind was created to benefit you, to even play with your hair. And what delight to do what you've been called and created to do. Now, if you let that sink in and you apply it to yourself, you're going to find a whole lot of happiness, a whole lot of joy in your everyday life, that you are doing what you have been called and created to do. Let that touch your heart today. That you have an amazing Father who created you. He's got a plan and a purpose for your life. And as you find it and you walk in it, you can know that you are doing your purpose. And you can delight in it. And delight in Him for giving that purpose to you in the first place. It's kind of a deep topic, but all inspired by my 9-year-old daughter who's in 3rd grade. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I love doing life with you. Us dads, we don't mean to do it, but sometimes it just happens. It just does. Yet we are guys after all, and that means that everything can be a competition. Even with our kids' teachers. That's right, you heard that. And I know
I know you've been there before. You've never actually admitted it out loud, but you've been there. Maybe you're there right now. Well, let me introduce you to Jonathan Gregg. He's in a little bit of a competition with his preschooler's teacher. I'm going to let him explain what's going on, and we'll unpack it right after. Take a listen.
So my daughter started preschool this year, and she's been wanting cute hair when she goes to school. All right, I'll figure out how to do cute hair, because that's how I roll. My kids want cute fingernails. I figure out how to paint nails. My kids want cute hair. I figure out how to do hair. I've been keeping it simple, though. I'm pretty new to the game, so I can rock a braid. A single braid, sometimes even a double. I've been known to do a pigtail braid. I've been known to hit a Leia with a little pigtail bun braid, but mostly keeping it simple, sticking to what I can do and not getting too far ahead of myself. The other day I dropped my daughter off at school with a high pony waterfall, right? Mainly keep it out of her face, have a little spunk, have a little fun for the day, but keep it light and simple. I go to pick her up. She has an asymmetric French braid. I'm like, what? Who? Where did this come from? And she said, Miss Yolanda did it. I said, oh, Miss Yolanda. I know you wanted problems. Well, okay, don't start and that won't be nothing, but now we're here. So now I gotta spend my weekend learning the fishtail, made popular by Elsa, Queen of Arendelle, because Miss Yolanda apparently chose violence.
I am looking at the comments on this video, and I'm laughing so hard. Oh, one lady said, Miss Yolanda trying to catch these strands instead of catch these hands. Another lady says, nah, Miss Yolanda saw your masterpiece destroyed at recess and tried to fix it for you. She didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Paige says, I really want to see Miss Yolanda's response to this. I'm still trying to pick a side. Crystal says, Miss Yolanda sent you homework. I love it. I love this. Oh, and by the way, what exactly is a high pony waterfall? I went ahead and checked it out. It is beautiful. I thought that maybe I would get into that game. I would learn how to braid, and I still haven't mastered it yet. I've tried, but I'm just not too good. Now, the nails I got down. I can do those nails. I can even sound like one of those normal nail techs at the nail salon. Ask you about your day, how your husband's doing, all that stuff. Oh, I videoed that. I might have to share that here on the show sometime. But anyway, I've tried to one-up my little girl's teachers before when she brought math homework home and she wasn't quite understanding how to do the strategy that they were working on. And I thought, well, what matters is getting the answer, right? So I taught her how I learned how to do math. That normal stack it on top of each other, minus and plus, the normal stuff, right? Oh, no. There was a note sent home to me saying, I'm sorry, but we don't use that strategy yet. I'm like, why not? It works. But I digress. She's still not stacking those numbers on top of each other, and she's in 3rd grade. So I don't know if what they taught me was wrong, but all I know is it works. So anyway, so if you find yourself in a little bit of a competition with your kid's teacher, it's normal. Just don't let it get out of hand. But this is hilarious. I'm going to keep following this little confrontation. I'm going to see how this competition goes, and I'll keep you updated on it, okay? Jonathan Gregg. That's good stuff. Could you imagine waking up one morning to find that your entire house is spotless? The dishes, done. Laundry, done. Dusting, done. Vacuuming, done. The baseboards have been wiped down. The cobwebs swept from the corners of your ceiling. And even the tassels on your area rug are perfectly aligned. I know, right? It's like Santa had visited, and his biggest present of all was a clean and tidy house. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, that's kind of happening to one guy over in the UK, but it's not in his house. It's actually in his shop. Yeah. Move over, Mighty Mouse. It's time to learn about the Welsh Tidy Mouse. Yeah, Rodney Holbrook, he's 75 years old. He's a retired mail carrier from Wales. And he discovered something extraordinary in his shed. Over 2 months, he noticed items moving around. Curious, he got to wondering what's going on. At first, I noticed that some food that I was putting out for the birds was ending up in some old shoes I was storing in the shed. To solve the mystery, you see, Rodney decided to set up a camera in that shed. And the footage revealed a surprising assistant, a mouse. The camera captured that mouse meticulously organizing the shed. It moved clothes, pegs, screwdrivers, plant pot trays, corks, and more into a box. He said, I couldn't believe it when I saw that the mouse was tidying up. He was amazed at the mouse's efforts to clean up his space. So, he no longer tidies up himself, knowing the mouse will do it. He joked, he said, I think he would tidy my wife away if I left her in there. The mouse is now nicknamed the Welsh Tidy Mouse. Yeah, he uses that shed, of course, for do-it-yourself projects. He noticed his items moving around from time to time, and this just led to that discovery. And that's not the only recorded instance of this happening. There are other mice who decide to tidy up. I don't know what it is. Maybe they decided, they've been freeloading for too long, and they want to earn their keep. So they want to do something to kind of pay back for living there. I think it's admirable. How cool is that, though? A mouse that'll tidy up your house. Hey, that has a ring to it, doesn't it? That sounds like a children's book. Ooh, I got to get on that. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm glad I can share some stuff that puts a smile on your face. Well, I tell you all the time, I absolutely love hearing from you. And earlier this morning, I shared with you a little dad joke. Yeah, Chris Lawrence called me up and he got me. I mean, it was so good. If you missed it, you got to check it out on the podcast over on Spotify. 10:15 over on Spotify. Go over there and type in Lifeline Morning Show podcast, and you'll find today's episode right there at the top of the list. But in preparation for that, I went ahead and got in touch with my friend Joel Modis, who listens to us down in Palm Coast, Florida. I told him, I got one. It's a real groaner. It's headed your way, so be ready. He said he was all ears, and then he loved it, and then he sent me one. He said, where does a snowman get the weather report? The winter net. Yeah, I know, right? But it's a dad joke. It's supposed to be like that. It's hilarious. That's a groaner too. Good job, Joel Modis. Hey, I'm gathering up my arsenal of jokes here because I'm a dad too, and so I can use all the help I can get coming up with some delicious dad jokes. Thank you. A little acknowledgement goes a long way. I mean, when I was a kid and I got a new pair of shoes, I wanted people to notice them. I can jump higher. I can run faster in my new shoes, and they look awesome. And I'm expecting somebody to say something good about my shoes. Unfortunately, that kind of stops once you become an adult. Unless you're a big kid at heart, then you start noticing people's shoes, and you might actually compliment them on it. But I came across one little girl who is learning how to deal with some hate in the world. And I use the term hate loosely. It's when people don't like something you got. And what was her comeback? What did she say when this little boy said he didn't like her hair? Ooh, stick around. We'll get into it next. You're going to love it. She's such a joy, an inspiration. You can just hear a smile in her voice. Stick around. A compliment makes you feel so good, but criticism? Oh, not so much, right? No, that's one of those negative things. It's like, hey, thanks a lot. It just brings you down a little bit. And we have amazing power in our words when it comes to stuff like that. We can speak life, or we can speak into somebody's life and make them kind of not feel so good. I don't like that either, but it happens every single day. You have to figure out how to deal with that kind of thing. And for this 4-year-old, she is full of self-confidence, all thanks to her mom, Mildred. You see, Layla is 4 years old, and she's got the biggest smile. She's adorable. She's spunky. And you see, when Layla started preschool, her mom knew that she would likely be one of the only black children in her class. So she had some conversations with Layla to prepare her for some comments other children might make. One conversation was about what kids might say about her hair. As bluntly honest preschoolers will do, one of Layla's classmates eventually did put forth an opinion on her hair. Fortunately, Layla had listened to and remembered what her mom said about how others might notice that her hair is different. And so, this little conversation was captured and put up on TikTok. Layla is in the back seat in her car seat, mom's up front, and they're having this conversation about Layla's hair. As kids do, they kind of tell you about their day. And so this is how it all went down. See what you think about this.
Owen didn't like my hair, but I said, I like it.
Good. So what did he say?
He said, I don't like that hair. It's crazy. And I said, my mommy made it. If you don't like it, I'll keep it for myself.
Good girl, darling. Oh, baby, I'm so proud of you. You stood up for yourself. That's what matters. What matters is that you like it. It's your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm proud of you, doll. Thank you. Good job for standing up for yourself, okay?
Those teachable moments, I'm telling you, when you know that your kid gets it and they're able to actually turn around and use that advice you give them, that's huge. So Layla, full of self-confidence, thanks to mom. And I love that she is learning how to navigate criticism. And I can tell if somebody gives her a compliment, she's going to smile so big. This little girl is adorable. I just had to bring that to your attention. You know, sometimes you wonder if your kid is listening to your advice and what you're telling them about life, because that's our chief goal lots of times with our kids, is to make sure that they can navigate the stuff we had problems with. Because we've been there, we've done that, we've got the scars, sometimes some emotional baggage to prove that we've been there, and we don't want them to have to deal with the same stuff. Now, while we can't completely safeguard them from everything, we can help them with this, that, and the other. And I'm so glad that Layla really paid attention. And that's one thing I've found is our kids are like little sponges. My little girl, Grace, she's got a mind like a steel trap. That girl never forgets a thing. In fact, I think it's been 3 years ago now. Is it 3? 2 or 3 years ago. We learned that there's this exercise you can do to kind of help your brain to retain things, right? So you list 5 words. You tell them to your kid. And then later on, a few hours later, you ask them, okay, what were those 5 words? That was like 3 years ago. To this day, my little girl still spouts them out. She just, right out there, all 5 words. We said on our way to the lake one summer, like 3 years ago, it's crazy how much they retain. So, mom, dad, keep giving them advice. Keep parenting them the way you know to do it. They are listening, even though sometimes it feels like they're not. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. And your kid is going to be successful because of you and how you're parenting them. So good job. You need to pat yourself on the back. 885jfm.com. Speaking of our website, do you know you could go there to listen to us from wherever you happen to be? Whenever you're away from your radio or outside of our listening area, it's real easy. Just click that On Now button and press play. Right now, we got some listeners in Reno County, Kansas. Also, plenty of people right here in North Alabama. I see you up in Skyline, Alabama. Also, all you over there in Arab and here in Gunnersville, in Albertville, Boaz, and Mountain Borough, I see you. Joel Modis hanging out with us down in Palm Coast, Florida. And we've got some listeners over in Helsinki, Finland. And I have seen Kassel, Germany pop on this morning as well. So never quite know who's listening. I'm still just so blown away that you can listen to this little radio station in North Alabama from anywhere in the world if you've got the internet and a speaker. So thank you for making us part of your day. You are a part of our story of 28 years of reaching this world with some really good news. Thank you for being here, whether that's on the radio or the stream or the podcast on Spotify. I'm a sucker for a good story. How about you? I like following people over on the socials, people who share their stories from their experiences. There's this guy, his name is Neil Ford, and I've been following him for a while. He's always got some of the best heart-touching stories. I want to share one of them with you now, and it's all about Mexican food.
My out-of-town friends will sometimes ask me, where's the best Mexican food in L.A.? Well, in 1985, I worked in a lumber yard in South Central L.A., serving the local contractors. Hard-working crew. And one of the best yard guys was Eddie, who was always helpful, always upbeat. He'd come over the border 10 years before with nothing but determination, and he'd saved every penny and married a smart, thrifty woman, and together they'd bought an apartment building. It was an American success story. I mean, back then, it was hard, but you could actually do it. But a big local plant got shuttered, and a lot of Eddie's tenants lost their jobs, and they couldn't pay rent. But Eddie's wife was adamant that they weren't going to kick anybody out, because if they were on the street, they couldn't find new jobs, and there were a lot of kids in the building. So Eddie was stuck, and he went and asked this junior manager in our yard if maybe he could intercede with the owner, maybe get Eddie a loan. And the kid was like, how much? And Eddie said, $5,500, which would have been about 16 grand now. And the kid goes, oh, Eddie, You know that's not going to happen. The old man, he's not the type. But Eddie was desperate, because he and his wife were going to lose everything. So the kid says, well, I'll do the best I can. Well, the next day I'm out by the mill, and the junior manager comes out and pulls Eddie aside and hands him this McDonald's bag filled with $5,463. No note, no receipt, just the cash. And he says, listen, the old man says you can't tell anyone. If people find out he's a soft touch, everybody's going to have their hands out. So you got to keep your mouth shut. He wants no contact about this. You don't even talk to him about it. Okay? When you're flush again, you pay it back to me and I'll give it to him. You read me? But I don't think Eddie actually heard any of that because he was just straight up having an out-of-body experience. Well, a few months later, the apartment was back in the black. And we were all at the company picnic, and I was sitting with the junior manager, and I said, $5,463? That number really bugged me, and then I realized you'd gone about a month without lunch or dinner. That was all the money you had, wasn't it? And he doesn't make any big deal out of it. And then he just goes, oh no. And I look up, and what's he looking at? He sees Eddie and his wife are walking towards the yard owner, carrying the McDonald's bag. And they walk up and they hand the old guy the bag and say a few words to him, and he opens it up and gets this weird look on his face and then hands the money back. And Eddie and his wife suddenly look up and they lock eyes with the junior manager with this expression of sudden understanding. And I turned to this guy and I said, you know what? You're good people. And he goes, I didn't do it because I'm good people. I did it because they are. And I feel pretty confident in saying that guy got the best Mexican food in LA for probably the next 10 years.
This very thankful mom has a little something to say. Pastor Larry Walls sent me this. I just want to read it to you. It is so good. Some years ago, my son called me on a Sunday morning and asked if he could go to church with us. Emphatically, I said yes. I could barely hear him on the phone as he whispered, "What should I wear?" In the most loving way I could, I responded, "Whatever you want to wear. It doesn't matter as long as you go to church with me." You see, my son wasn't saved, and he would never go to church with me when I asked. He had long hair, scruffy beard, and tattoos all the way down his arms, even on his fingers. He rode to church with us that Sunday. It was a day I'll never forget. He was wearing a long-sleeved, button-down shirt to cover his tattoos because of the shame that church people had made him feel. As my husband parked the car, the Lord spoke to me and said, "When you go in, make sure your son sits between you and your best friend." Although I was a little puzzled at why the Lord would give me such instructions, I didn't question him. When we sat down, my son was beside her, and immediately she started loving on him the way she loves on everyone. She told him how awesome his tattoos were and asked who did them. And when he told her that he had done them, she gasped and made him feel even more at ease as she told him what a wonderful artist he was. As the service started with the praise and worship, I heard the Lord speak to me again. "Today, your son will be saved. When the preacher goes to the pulpit, your son will go down and be saved." I immediately started crying uncontrollably. I knew the Lord was about to answer years and years of pleading and praying for my son. When the preacher stepped behind the pulpit, he said, "There's a young man here today that the Lord is speaking to. He wants you to do business with him right now. You need to come to the altar now." I felt my son nudge me so he could get out of the pew. I grabbed my husband's arm and we moved out of his way. This mama couldn't even go to the altar with him. The aisle was as far as I could make it. All I could do was praise my sweet, sweet Lord for answering years and years of prayers. That day, my husband, my friend, and the preacher led my son to the Lord. That day, his name was written in the Lamb's Book of Life. That day, all of heaven rejoiced. That day, I heard and I saw the Lord at work. I will eternally be grateful for a dear, dear friend that did not judge my son for the tattoos on his skin or the clothes he was wearing or the length of his hair, but instead showed him the love of God that he had been searching for. Please, please, please do not make people coming to church feel shame for what they are wearing, for the tattoos that they have, for the piercings they have, or anything else that you deem as inappropriate. The Lord sees them. You don't know how long a mama or grandma or daddy or granddaddy or friend or someone else has been praying for their salvation. The words you say can either draw them near to the Lord or push them away. I would hate to be the one who pushed someone away from the Lord because of the way I felt about how their appearance was. When God does a work on their heart, I promise you that you will see everything about them change. Let God do what he does. Your job is to love, not to condemn. Just love them to Jesus. I'm not saying you have to condone anything that is not of God, but you better watch how you treat them. The Lord sees and hears you. Wow, so true. I love that. Thank you, Larry, for sharing that. Oh, it's so good. We do have a lot of power in our words, so we need to use them wisely. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Sometimes we just need a gentle reminder that though we might think this, that, and the other is right or wrong, sometimes we just got to love people. What does it say in the Bible? God is love? Yeah. Wow. Well, that's going to wrap it up for me today here on the Lifeline Morning Show. It's been an absolute blast hanging out with you. Now, I guess maybe I need to bid you adieu because, hey, we've got another show starting here at 10 o'clock. So more great music, people on the microphone letting you know that you're not alone. Hey, why don't you just hang out here with us all day long? You can tune us in online at 885jfm.com. We would absolutely love if you would. All right, today's inspiring quote as I close the show: don't believe everything you feel. Our emotions are the greatest liars we know. Preach the truth to your emotions, and the truth will begin to change your emotions by the power of the Spirit. Marinate on that for a while. That's good stuff. I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. I can't wait. Now go out there, have the best day ever so far.